Hello, welcome to this DAS project video. In this video, we are going to showcase three of our data structures projects. The projects have been made as part of the course curriculum under the guidance of Professor Ritul Vaghela. The first project is Tree Paths, which is a mini command line interface based text RPG, uh, a game of sorts wherein the user gets options to go in one of the two directions, that is left or right, based on which random enemies may pop up, and the user's health and the amount of gold that he or she has will vary based on the value of the enemy or value of or the position where he or she is at the moment. We have created this project with the help of trees. uh, Basically, we have drawn inspiration from the various concepts of binary search trees, that is in order traversal, and for traversal by in general, we are allowing we employ a recursive approach for pseudo recursive approach for user traversal of trees of the entire path. So the motto of the game is that the user can collect as many gold coins as possible, and we will keep a track of the gold coins that the user collects after each iteration. So the general flow is the user starts the game. He When you execute this program, when you start this program, you are directed to the main function over here. The main function will run, and it will display a set of options. If the and Based on which the user can input any of the two values, that is 1 or 0. If 1 is pressed, then the game will start. If 0 is pressed, the you will exit from the game. If Let's assume that you press 1, then the tree is initialized with the help of this method as defined here, and then the user gets to traverse the tree with the help of this function, the tree traversal by user method. After traversals and all, if the user reaches the end of the tree, that is, if the user encounters a null node, then we end the game. Or if the user runs out of health, that if user's health is 0, then we say that the game has ended. And if the game ends, then we will keep a track of the maximum uh, user health and the maximum user gold that the user collects. The main motto is to collect more gold, so that's pretty much it. So after the game ends, after one iteration of the game ends, uh, we first check if the tree was created in the first place or not. If it was, then we delete the old tree. And uh, if that choice was 0, that is, if that game was not even played, then the max user health and max user gold will be set to 0, because of the fact that um, the user has not played any games, right? So there's no point in printing them in the file or the scorecard. And the choice equals if the user has played a game, that is, if the user plays a game, whenever the user plays a game, the number of iterations of game variable will be incremented by 1. And based on that, uh, we can check if the game has been played or not. And if the choice is 0 after one or more iterations of the game have been completed, then we will store the maximum user health and maximum user gold after each and every iteration of the game of games, and that's pretty much it. And if the choice is 1, that is if it was the first game and the choice was 1, so we just again store the max user health and max user goal. And after, if suppose the user wants to exit the game, then we say okay, and then we store the results. That is the number of iterations of the game. That is the number of times the game has been played, and the maximum goal that the user has obtained at the end in a file. And that's pretty much it. So I'll just run this program. Um, just a second. So I hope it's visible. So here, as you can see, we get an option. So if I press 1, then the game has been started. And when you reach the first node, as you can see, the first node has some random values. So as per that, the health status or the goal status of the user changes. So now, if as you can see, the enemy has appeared. So again, the status of the user changes. Now, as we have reached the end, even though our health was not zero, we are, like as we have reached the null node, uh, the game has ended, and so we get to see the goal at the end and the health at the end. So as of now, let's assume that I want to exit the game. So enter the choice. So now we have exited the game and we are out of the entire program. And so if you were to look at the scorecard, that is the amount of the user stats overall, so we can see that the number of games played in total is 1, as we just did, and the maximum goal at the end is 729, as is observed over here. So that's pretty much it about reparts. Thank you.